Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to Garnett-Tools. Today, we're going to have a look at cheap Chinese junk versus quality American. Both are wire strippers, of course. These are a pair of Proto 299s I got from a friend. And this is a cheap pair you get in like a pack from a parts store. And man, do I miss the days when you can get really quality, like decent tools from like a parts store. Now, the only real place you can get kind of decent tools is like Napa. I mean, there may be others, but the only one around me is Napa. But funny story about these ones. I'm a field tech, and I think around like last year, my service van broke down, and I was stuck on the side of the highway with no gear other than second. It wouldn't go into first. When you sometimes you could turn it off, turn it back on, and it would run through the gears again. But my company had to get the van towed somewhere else, and they set me up with a spare van. So all my normal tools are in my normal van, and I only took what I could grab in that, in those few moments before they sent me back on the road. For that week, I was sent around basically to put out fires, like simple stuff. Well, I actually forgot to grab wire strippers, which is why I have these. So I stumbled into Advance, got these, threw them in my bag, just in case I came across, some wiring issues, some little thing. But little did I know it would take me like a year to even open the package these came in when something else happened to my normal service van. The brakes went, so I had to turn it in. So when I finally went to use these things, I go to pull them out, and my coworker immediately goes,
I have seen it all now, bro. Of all the nice tools you got, how you gonna come out with these Fisher Price Mickey Mouse wire strippers?
We're both dying. And then I go to actually put them to use, and they don't even work right. I also realized a couple things, okay? One, the entire tool is labeled in metric. And, well, you see, when I pulled these out, I didn't need them to strip wires at all, or cut wires, none of that. I needed to use a particular feature, but since these are so crappy, they won't even do it. They won't even touch what they're intended to do. Now, some of the more weathered techs may already know what I'm talking about, but I find some of the younger techs, some of the lesser experienced, don't actually know what these holes are for on a wire stripper like this. And I thought it'd make for great video opportunity. So it's really simple. These holes are meant for machine screws. On the USA Proto set, the holes are threaded. A screw actually threads into those holes, and it will cut them, machine screws, no problem. But this like exemplifies the crappy Chinese, super cheap Chinese tools. I'm pretty convinced that these are only on the shelf in that parts store just to fool you. They look just close enough to, that they might just work. Why the only wire stripper in Advance is labeled in metric is beyond me. But this couldn't cost the store like any more than $2 or something, and they sell it for like $6.99, $7.99, something like that. I mean, they cheat right out so much, and they don't even do what they're supposed to do. I don't even know if these things will strip a wire because they paint it right over the wire stripping surface, like right over it, right over the blades. Let's see if this thing will actually strip a wire. So, American wire gauge, which is what this wire is, it's going to be a little different than metric, but this should still do it. The 1.0 and 1.5 is what I'm looking at, and it should still cut wires. I mean, it should still strip this wire. It should also cut the wire. It should also cut machine screws, because that's what those holes are for. But if you see here, the 6.0 looks like it's off center. It's not directly in line with this hole. What they had to do was offset the scale because of their arrows, which don't even matter because the tool is junk. But when you get down here, it looks like the 1.5 will be here, the 1.0 will be here, the 0.75 will be here. And that's not the case. You actually have to move the whole scale down because they're arrows. But we're going to try both. We're going to try both 1.0, which is the second hole, and see if this thing will strip this wire. And no, doesn't do it. Okay, so we'll switch here. We'll do 1.5, and then we'll go back to 1.0 and see if it does it. So 1.5 doesn't do it. We'll give it a fair shot here and cut that end off and go to back to 1.0, which is the second hole. And you see what happened there? The force of the wire just literally bent the whole tool and offset it enough that it just slipped right out of there. This is literally not going to cut it. Yeah, this is probably the thinnest version of this I have ever seen. The grips are like super uncomfortable. The thing's covered in paint. The only cutting edge on the thing is like painted right over, and it looks to be pretty unusable. By contrast, the American Protos, they have better handles because they have this air gap, and when you squeeze these things, they compress, making it way more comfortable. They got two wire strippers that are not painted over, one at the top, one underneath the pivot. And they actually work. They can actually strip wires and cut machine screws. I mean, because it would be completely useless if it didn't. The Protos are also made out of thicker metal and have a real phosphate coating. So, I mean, but they got better lettering as well. You know, not just paint. They stamped this into the tool, and then it's filled on this side with paint. So it's not just gonna wear off, you know, like normal paint is. You can see they painted this thing before. They might have painted it clothes like this, and that paint's already starting to wear off, already starting to get scratched. I haven't even used them once, and they got scratched this bad. Like, seriously. But I know. Now, I know. These are like the cheapest of the cheap, the lowest quality, bottom of the barrel tool here. And I know it's a little unfair to compare these to these. And I know there are better Chinese wire strippers out there, but why do they even sell these if they don't work? I wouldn't even care that they're from China as long as they worked. You know what I'm saying? Because it wouldn't have mattered because I was just using these for backups anyways. So it just would have been, you know, it would have been nice if they would have worked. I mean, if they can't cut a screw, what are the holes even doing on this tool? Nothing. They're not doing anything. They painted over the blades, so the wire stripper's not doing anything. I don't know. These things are junk. The only reason they sell them is to fool people into buying them. I mean, it's just super annoying. Anyways, I'm glad I got the Proto 299s. You know, at least these save me from hearing.
Did that come free with a Happy Meal or something? You better hit up the toll man next time you see him, my man.
Brand new, these run about $25, but just so you know, these are rebranded. You can also find them labeled as Stanley and Blue Point, as you know, Stanley, Proto's same company. They all appear to be the IE-136 wire stripper from Imperial Tools. I think Imperial actually makes the majority of these USA-made sort of stamped steel pliers out there in the wild. But that's it. That's all I have for you. Sorry this turned into kind of a rant, but if I'm spending my money, my hard-earned money, on something, I want it to work, not merely resemble the tool I'm looking for. I'll be sure to leave all the links to all this stuff in the description. I'm not too sure if you'll want the actual link to these cheap crap-tastical Chinese ones, but if you want it and if I can find it, I guess I'll put it down there. As always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe for more videos. You can support this channel by using my KC Tool affiliate link in the description. You can also check out my Twitter and Instagram if you're interested. And as always, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. If you're still here, consider checking out my other reviews of quality hand tools.